Game 4 of the 2024-2025 season for the New York Rangers was the second of a back-to-back games against the Detroit Red Wings, where the first game was at MSG and the second game here was in Detroit. But getting on into the game here and we'll be recapping the game here, talking about the game, the good, the bad, what happened, all that good stuff, taking to the lineup and all that involving the Rangers in this game. So starting off here, let's take a look at the starting goaltenders, and that ended up being for the Rangers, him making his first start of the season, Jonathan Quick, the veteran goaltender, obviously getting up there in age, but coming off of a quite phenomenal first season there with the Rangers last season, so hopefully that can continue into this one, where he ended up having a pretty solid game in this one against Detroit as well, and he went up against the former Ranger in Cam Talbot, so former Ranger up against one of the newer Ranger goaltenders in Jonathan Quick, going up against Cam Talbot, so those were the two goaltenders in this game. And for the lineup here, you have the exact same one that we saw in the first game against Detroit there, with Kreider, Zibanejad, Smith, Panarin, Trocheck, Lafreniere, Cooley, Hedl, Kakko, Edstrom, Carrick, Brodzinski. And for the defense there, as Lindgren is still out injured, you have Miller, Fox, Schneider, Trouba, Jones, Mancini. But it does seem like Lindgren is going to be coming back very, very soon. So I'd imagine the next game or two will probably be featuring with this team. So we will see some changes to the decor as of right now in the coming days, I'd imagine. But for right now, they have played pretty good together. So that is quite nice. The team definitely will have some decent depth, especially once you do see a guy like Lindgren coming back, as well as having a guy, like Chad Ruhwedel right now as that kind of seventh guy. I guess once obviously Lindgren going to come back, he'll probably be that eighth guy, which definitely shows the depth that this team does have. Now, though, going on into the actual recap of this game and starting off in the first period, we ended up seeing a very slow start to the game from both teams, as we did not see a shot from either team up until about 4 minutes into the game there, where around that time, just after that shot happened, we ended up seeing Vincent Trocheck end up getting a 2-minute penalty for tripping, and then about 43 seconds left on that penalty kill for the Rangers, Adam Fox gets 2 minutes for slashing as Dylan Larkin was cutting towards the net, but the Rangers end up killing both those penalties off, including that 43-second 5-on-3, to keep things tied at 0. And we did see Quick make a couple decent stops there on both those penalties as well. And we did see the Wings also get a couple really good chances there. Had one really kind of wide open net there, I believe was DeBrincat, I think it was, and he just missed the wide open net there pretty much. So that kept things at 0. Rangers kill off both those penalties. And then we see, though, about 11 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first, Alexis Lafreniere has a nice little kind of close pass, a little pass to Vincent Trocheck in the offensive zone, and Vincent Trocheck ends up finding Artemi Panarin, who's kind of near the net there. He ends up making a beautiful pass over to Panarin, and Panarin buries it for his first goal of the game there to make things 1-0 for the Rangers. And I did say first goal of the game because not too long later, 4 minutes and 32 seconds left in the period, we do see Alex DeBrincat get a 2-minute penalty for tripping, and pretty much right away, about 10 seconds into that power play for the Rangers, we see Panarin getting a pass from Adam Fox at the point. He kind of walks in a bit there and just snipes one past Cam Talbot to give the Rangers a 2-0 lead. And this goal was also assisted by Vincent Trocheck, who did win the faceoff to begin this power play for the Rangers, so they could keep possession there, keep it in the zone, and obviously create this great goal, which ended up going in there, which was very nice to see. So after that goal was scored, we didn't see a ton else happen in the period, so we go now on into the second period with the Rangers up 2-0. But then we see pretty early on, the Detroit Red Wings end up getting their first goal of the game as JT Compher ends up passing to Moritz Seider, who's in the highest slot there. He kind of skeets down a slight bit and just snipes one past Jonathan Quick for their first goal of the game. There were a few bodies out in front there, but just a really clean, great wrist shot there from Moritz Seider, who gives the Wings their first goal of the game, also assisted by Lucas Raymond. But then we see, though, later on in the period, on the power play for the Rangers, after Jonathan Berggren got 2 minutes for hooking, Adam Fox passes from down below, kind of around the goal line, up to Artemi Panarin, who's at the point. He kind of just takes a nice little wrist shot on net there with some bodies out in front, including Chris Kreider and Vincent Trocheck. And then we see, though, with that wrist shot going on net there from Panarin at the point, we see Trocheck tip that puck in there to give the Rangers a 3-1 lead. Later in the period, with 9 minutes and 14 seconds left in the second, we have Eric Gustafsson, the former New York Ranger, getting 2 minutes for high sticking to give the Rangers another power play. On that power play, we end up seeing Vincent Trocheck pass to Adam Fox at the point, who then looks over to Artemi Panarin for the one-timer. He passes across the ice there to Panarin, and he smacks in the one-timer there to score, and that gets him the hat trick, his third goal of the game, to give the Rangers a 4-1 lead. This was great. I mean, just a nice passing play from Trocheck up to Foxy, and Foxy pretty much right away, as he's kind of skating across, kind of drawing some players towards him, looks across there, passes over to Panarin, and he just smacks it home with the one-timer for a 4-1 lead. And not too long after that goal was scored to make it 4-1, the Rangers make it 5-1 as Kaapo Kakko from along the boards passes to Victor Mancini, the New York Rangers rookie, at the point, and he takes a nice hard wrist shot on net there, and it finds the back of the net, beating Cam Talbot for his first career NHL goal/point, which is phenomenal to see. This is also a Michigan native, so doing it in Michigan has to be a little extra special for him possibly. And he is also someone who is still very young as well. He's a rookie, obviously playing in his fourth career NHL game. He's someone who clearly impressed at training camp. You know, Peter Laviolette must really like him. He ends up getting the start on this team right to begin the season, as we did see Ryan Lindgren obviously be a little injured. So Mancini gets a spot there. He's kind of ran with it so far. He's done really, really well. So it'll be interesting to kind of see what happens once Lindgren does come back. But Mancini, he's done a pretty great job so far for being a pretty inexperienced still. He's still very young, obviously, has not really played much pro hockey up until, this point, really. Obviously, he played a bit last season at the end of his college season last year, but for the most part, hasn't played a ton of pro hockey yet, but so far he's done a pretty good job at the NHL level, and definitely is very nice to see him get his first career NHL goal/point. In the third period, it was a little quieter, but we still saw a goal scored as we end up seeing Eric Gustafsson, the former Ranger now on the Red Wings, take a 2-minute penalty. And with a minute and 18 seconds left on that, we end up seeing Kaapo Kakko take a penalty to make it 4-on-4. Once that Gustafsson penalty does expire, we end up seeing a goal scored for the Red Wings on the power play as JT Compher gets a pass from Ben Sherratt, and he buries it in close to score to make things 5-2. But we did not see much more of a comeback after that, as the game does finish 5-2, and the New York Rangers come out on top with both points. In this one, we ended up seeing Cam Talbot begin the game for the Detroit Red Wings. He ended up stopping 14 out of 19 shots. They're allowing 5 goals. He did not play great. Ended up getting pulled there where Alex Lyon came into the game. Ended up stopping all 15 shots he faced, so he was a lot better. But overall, I think it was a really good game there for the Rangers. Jonathan Quick was also in net for the Rangers, making his first start of the season, his first appearance, and he ends up stopping 29 out of 31 shots. So the Red Wings did have, a few really solid chances there, and he ended up making a couple really solid saves. Looked comfortable, looked calm out there, looked composed. So, for an older goaltender who's obviously getting up there in age, I think he did a pretty great job there and definitely looked like the goaltender that we saw last season under the Rangers in his first season with the team as well. So that was great to see there. Jonathan Quick have another great performance in this game like we saw for most of last season as well. We also got to see Victor Mancini score his first career NHL goal/point, which was pretty remarkable to see. I mean, this is a very talented guy. He's still only 22, has a total of 17 games played at the AHL level last season between the playoffs and regular season, but then ended up impressing in training camp, makes a team there, earns a spot on the roster on that, third D pair alongside Zach Jones, ends up playing pretty good to start the season, and finally gets his first career goal, which was very cool to see, and he did so in his home state as well, being from Michigan, so that must have been maybe a little extra cool for him. But I thought the special teams also looked great on the power play. The Rangers ended up going 3 for 4, and on the PK, they ended up going 4 for 5, so overall, a pretty great performance in the power play and the penalty kill for the Rangers. Defensively, they looked pretty good for the most part and definitely started to control more of the game beginning in that second period. But overall, in this one, we ended up seeing multiple players for the Rangers put up some pretty big point totals here, as we saw multiple guys as well. For example, Lafreniere and Panarin, they also extended their point streaks to 4 games now, so they have a point in every single game so far this season. But the big point totals here from guys we ended up seeing was Adam Fox with 3 assists, Trocheck with a goal and 3 assists, and then Panarin with a hat trick, 3 goals, as well as 1 assist there to go along with that. So Panarin and Trocheck both had 4-point nights. And then you also have guys who had 1 point each, with guys like Kakko, Hedel, and Lafreniere all having 1 assist each, and then Victor Mancini having that single goal himself. So overall, pretty great performance by this team top to bottom, and hopefully they can repeat that in the next game as well. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, definitely hit that like and subscribe button for a ton more New York Rangers content. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to comment down below your thoughts on this nice 5-2 victory for the New York Rangers. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.